Thank you so much for watching my interviews here at the Louisiana State Capitol on my show, William Wallace for America. With me today in this interview is Louisiana State Rep LaFleur. Thank you so much, Vanessa LaFleur, for being on my show today. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Well, you know, you've got some really interesting legislation.
I do.
I'm going to save. There's a couple questions I usually ask at the end. I'm going to ask one in the beginning, and then you've got some really interesting, good. I know one you're most excited about legislation.
Yes.
We're going to save that one for last.
Alrighty.
I really like that one. But you know, I ask a lot of the representatives at the end of the videos if they would support legislation that would require legislators to change their pictures on the legislative site.
Right.
But when I look at your picture on the site, it looks just like you are in person.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, because I'm new, and
Yeah.
that may be the reason why.
Right.
So, yeah, no, I can't support that legislation.
Okay.
I want to keep my picture.
But would you support for other ones that have to change their pictures?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Because I look at them because I'm like, who's this talking? You don't look like that anymore.
I know, right?
Sorry, colleagues.
Well, what's funny is like, guys, the male legislators, like they look, they don't change their hairdos, change or whatever like that. But women, they take a picture in the first day,
Yeah.
and then here they have a different outfit, different
Yeah,
hair.
absolutely.
They have to change it daily, I think.
We do.
Okay.
It's okay.
Well, let's talk about your exciting legislation.
Sure.
You got HB 200, which provides relative to newborn screening for certain genetic conditions.
Yes, it is, and I call it a generational piece of legislation, because what it helps do is it helps parents figure out if there is an issue and plan for the issue health-wise for their babies. I was excited when the department came to me and asked me to bring this bill. I'm like, yes, just give me all the information, let me do some studying so that I can be a good representative.
So this gives parents a tool to find out if their child, before they're born, or in utero, I guess,
You can
is
do before, and you can also do after. But the most important part about this tool is it allows you to plan. If you find some information that's discouraging, you know that you need to find a specific treatment plan and a specific doctor. But you need to know that earlier.
Right, exactly.
Because sometimes the earlier treatment can prevent, issues later on.
I love the common sense approach. I do, and that'll be not only statewide, but is there anything you have to connect that to make that?
Yes, so that federally there's a list that we will now look at and adopt for Louisiana. And the most important part about this bill is that we still have oversight at the legislative end. There's still committee reports that need to be done. There will be reports that have to be done so doctors know what we're considering and what's going on.
I love it. I also love the broader view,
Yes.
on a national level. You've got a HB 217 provides relative to commissioners of the 19th Judicial Court. Sounds real specific.
It is very specific. It's a local bill. I bought this bill on behalf of the judges in the 19th. They need 2 additional commissioners. So they're going to get that because it's no fiscal note to the state.
Exactly.
It's going to be paid for by the city parish. But it's going to help with the caseload so that we can get people in and out quicker and have trials that need to be had for criminal matters as well. It's criminal, civil, the whole gambit.
So right now, I don't want to say underfunded, but they're understaffed, I guess. Is that right
is
now? And
absolutely.
the additional 2 judges helps out a whole lot.
Helps all.
Moves
They're
things
not
through.
judges. They're commissioners.
Commissioners, okay.
Right. So that they help with the caseload and the management.
I'm just curious. Is this something that was put into the Constitution, during the last Constitutional Convention? Is this something that now that has to go through legislation to happen?
No. First, in order to have it happen, we meaning the city and the city judges, district court judges, had to get approval from the Judicial Council. And once the Judicial Council approved, then we could bring the legislation.
Okay.
It's all in state. It's all the state.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting. Like when I talk to legislators, there's always these little rules and things that they have to do, and you go, why do we need a state law for that? And then sometimes we don't realize that there's some sort of it needs a bridge, if you will.
It does, and this is all a part of that check and balance, right?
Yeah.
I love that.
I love that, and I love the check and balance. I love that. So you've got a HB 283 provides relative employment practices related to wage history, wage disclosure, and retaliation.
Yeah. So that bill did not make it out of committee this year.
Okay.
It's pay transparency, nothing more, nothing less. It says when I sit at a negotiating table, I can ask you questions and you can ask me questions. If I refuse to answer the questions, that's not held against me.
Okay.
That's all it ever was pay. It was pay transparency. But even that term sort of frightens people. So I know that I have work to do. And I have work to do with the business entity, lobbying those, to sort of explain exactly what it is that we want to see. It is nothing more than giving negotiating strength to those that sit on the side looking for jobs.
Where would that apply? Who would that apply to?
This would apply statewide,
Okay.
to both state and private employees. But again, I think I've got some work to do to explain the impact and how this is not sort of mandating anything other than there are a few questions you can't ask me, and then if I don't want to comply, I don't have to comply.
Kind of like a privacy act, if you will, that does not allow an employer or an agency to hold something against somebody.
So think about it. When you go for a job and they ask you your prior wage history, if you don't want to disclose it, you shouldn't have to, because you realize that if you come in low,
Yeah.
then
You might get hired low.
you might get hired.
Yeah.
But
You come in high, you might not get hired.
you might not, right? So the issue is, how much do I need to disclose in order for you to see me for what I am? It's a know your worth bill. Honestly.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And what I like about this, even though you have to do more work on it, I like the fact that you're willing to do more work on it and do studies and talk to lobby, talk to agencies around the state
Absolutely.
that are going to help you make a better bill instead of passing a bad bill.
Absolutely. And this, I've got to show the business purpose and how this will impact positively how we get people to come to work in our state and how we get our children to stay. That's on me.
That's important. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
HB, let's see, you've got 369 provides a premium discount for certain. That's your big one.
Yeah.
We'll say that one for last.
Okay.
All right.
Right.
Let's say that one for last because that's a really good one. I think the Louisianians are really going to be happy about this
Good.
one. All right, we're going to talk about that last. 361 the 381 creates the affordable digital textbook and learning materials subscription pilot program.
Absolutely. We did a rewrite because I'm all about, and having been a staffer probably helps me with that.
Okay.
I'm all about sort of having conversations. So that bill, we rewrote it throughout as we worked with the Board of Regents. And it is House Bill 644. It has been signed by the governor.
Okay.
Effective 5/30. It is now Act 17.
Nice.
I'm really excited about that because it's affordable digital textbooks.
Wait, the
for
governor's
our
already
children.
signed this?
He signed
I
this.
love this. Good for you.
It's my first one. So I've got two.
You rock.
That the newborn and this one already signed.
Okay.
But this one really does help parents like myself who have kids in college. Textbooks are extremely expensive.
That's what I was getting excited about.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a comment on that in a second when you get done.
So now we're going to produce, this is a pilot, and we're going to see what we can do to reduce those costs by making this available, the digital platform, to our students, and not making it available for a semester. They will have whatever courses they take that they have that content forever. So I know that there's some other programs out
Right.
there, but they lose the content when they're no longer taking the class.
Exactly. Well, what's interesting is I'm aware of textbooks, and when you look at how much a textbook is, a
Yes,
physical
yes.
textbook, and I'm all about physical textbooks. I mean, I think I wish we could still keep physical textbooks, but I realize that digital is actually easier. The big heavy backpacks and everything.
Right.
But to that point, the digital textbooks can still be as expensive as the physical ones, and there's no need for it because there's no printing cost.
Yes.
So this legislation is going to help lower the price of digital textbooks. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it's going to help students, professors, and universities make a decision. Digital textbook, hardback, whatever works for you, but this option will be available.
Okay, absolutely love it. All right, you've got HCR 98 is designates May 18th of 2023 as AKA Day at the State Capitol.
That was fun.
Okay. That's a sorority. Okay.
Yes, so we had a wonderful day here.
Yeah.
An advocacy day.
Was that White Red Day?
That was no, wrong.
Oh,
one.
that's a different sorority.
No.
All right, that's Marcel's.
We're the Pink and Greeners. That's Marcel's.
Okay, you're
Yes.
Pink and Green. Okay,
I'm
gotcha.
Pink and Green.
Okay.
And it was a wonderful day. But every time we're able to have members of our fraternities and sororities here, it's important because this is representative government, right?
That's right.
And so you don't know what we're doing unless you come and see us. And we need you to come and see us so that if we're doing something you don't like, you let us know.
You're saying exactly what I told Representative Marcel when she talked about her sorority being in here. And I said, to the average listener, they might go, that sounds so irrelevant. Why are we worried about that?
Yeah.
But the reality is you're bringing people in that might not have been involved in government.
Yes.
By bringing them in the building and seeing the process, we might get one or two of them to get more involved. And that's what
Absolutely.
we really need.
That's what we need.
You know,
And my
I mean-
whole pitch is we're here because of you. We represent you. it's a representative government. If you never talk to me or you never visit,
Exactly.
then I don't know what your wishes are. I don't know
Right.
what your priorities are.
And what you showed them might be show them how easy it is to be involved.
Yes.
Thank you for that. I appreciate
You're
that.
welcome.
You've got HR 53, which recognizes April 20th, 2023 as Junior League Day.
Yes.
Ooh, you're a Junior
I
League?
am.
Okay.
I'm a sustainer.
Okay.
Yeah, it was absolutely wonderful. That was the red and white for me.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, they were here. Same sort of idea. Come see what's happening in your government. Get involved.
Be involved. I love that. Well, let's talk about your favorite bill.
Yeah.
That is. Let's see where we pass it up here. That was the provides. What number is that?
369? Is it?
Oh yeah, 369. There we go. Provides for a premium discount for certain military personnel. I saw insurance automobile, and I went, wait a minute. Oh, I didn't know. I didn't see that when you told me about this. So let's talk about this one.
Okay, so this is a 25% discount on automobile insurance for the members of the Louisiana National Guard. I absolutely love this bill. There are a couple of reasons why. One is that I worked with the most fabulous guardsmen in trying to get this done. They've never had to work a bill through the process. So each step was a learning lesson for
Wait, the
them.
National Guard has never put a law through Louisiana legislature? Or maybe this group has. Okay,
Yeah, this group of leaders. And this bill, this particular law has been in existence, but the National Guard wasn't enumerated or listed as an entity that could get it. The other members of the military were able to do this. So I think we had.
So our National Guard was not able to get this.
No.
Okay.
It's and what we did here with the National Guard was to make sure, because you never know when you're going to get called up.
Right.
So we can't say if you're on active duty. It's that you have a member, right? You're a member. You're doing the work, and I say member, but they're National Guardsmen and ladies. So I'm excited for them because I think that's the least we can do.
Right.
Is provide them 25%
So
discount.
auto insurance companies are required to
Yes,
give
they
them
will be.
a 25% discount on their auto insurance
yes.
for this. So they have to be so there's different levels. You either when you're in the National Guard, you've got I think it's about an 8-year period, so you can be active for a certain number of years and inactive for a certain number of years. So does this include that whole 8 years, or is this only while they're active? An active National Guard means 1 week in a month and 2 weeks out of the year, or is it active National Guard where they're full-time National Guard?
It's going to cover all.
So whether they're 1 week in a month or whether they're full-time National Guard.
Because you never know when they're going to be called
Right,
up.
exactly.
And in Louisiana in the past 5 years, we've seen them being called up a lot and answering the call, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So yes, this will give them
This gives you, I see the goosebumps,
Yes.
and I'm excited about it because our military is near and dear to my heart,
Oh, good.
but
Yeah.
also because our National Guard does a lot of extra things for the state, and if this is they get the free tuition program, and if this is one more thing that we can get,
It's a big thank you.
it's a big thank you.
And that's what when I was in committee, they're like, well, are you in the National Guard? Is that why you're bringing this? And the answer, I said, no, but I love them.
Yeah, right, exactly.
That's why I'm bringing it.
I mean, look, they're the ones who get called up for hurricanes.
All the
they're
time,
they're the
everything.
ones
We call
you know.
them, and they're ready. So again, this is the least we can do for
This
them.
is, the federal government has the USAA program
Yeah.
where our military members get discounts on insurances.
That's my
This is
insurance
kind
company.
Is it? Is
Yes.
it? This is kind of the Louisiana version of it. Amazing.
25% discount.
I love it. Was there any? Do you have anything else that you want to talk about? Anything
No,
else?
that's it. I'm
the
really,
budget
really
bill, anything like that?
excited,
Are we staying away
about
from
this. We're staying away and voting. I'm going to be ecstatic and have goosebumps like I am now when we can give teacher pay raises.
Okay.
That's important. And the item that I talked about on the floor was the early childhood. We've got to put that money back.
Yeah.
And it's not, let's think business. There's a business purpose for that. These parents are able to go to work and do their jobs if there's somewhere for their children to be educated and it's safe and it's clean and reliable. That's what early childhood education does for parents. Now for the children, it sets a bar for them. They start learning earlier.
Yes.
They're reading early. It's important for them. For the community, these children then grow up to be the scholars that we want them to be because we've educated them early. The earlier we educate them, the better it is for them and our community.
I agree 100%. And more people that have this on their agenda or have this on their forethought, like yourself, that we have thinking about our students and our early childhood education and education in Louisiana, the more students and children and grandchildren that we keep in Louisiana.
Absolutely.
And the more educated population, the less crime. It's an approach that I'm happy to see the Louisiana legislature as a whole get back to, because I think past, I'm not placing blame or criticizing anybody, but I think that overall in the past it kind of got put to the side. We took things for granted, but now this legislature seems to be more focused on not only budget but on early childhood education and things like that.
There's a human side to that. There's a business side to that. Everybody benefits when we pour into our children, and the earlier we pour in, the better it is.
Absolutely. And it's funny because one of my other questions I like to ask my representatives is that I see a lot of debate going on now on the floor, and sometimes you see them debating a chicken sandwich.
Right. Or a national or a state nut.
Yeah, exactly. The state nut or the state butterfly,
Right.
Yeah. And I think too many things get lost in the process, as a result. And I'm just glad that you're keeping on track.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm enjoying this work. It is, I feel I was called to do it, and so I'll keep doing it as long as the people in District 101 want me to.
This is what year of this? Is your first term?
Yeah, second year.
Okay.
I was elected in a special election.
Right, I remember that.
Representative James at the time, Ted
Exactly.
James. So big shoes to fill.
Exactly. Yeah. He visited the other day. I saw him visiting the other day.
He did.
But it's funny because your election coincides with Senator Klein Peters, who got elected in a special election.
He did last year.
Exactly.
Right.
So, but because he got elected in it was 2 years left in the previous senator's term, he can only serve 2 more terms. So, are you able to serve 2 more terms?
Yep.
Okay. So you're able to serve 2.
Yep.
Okay. Awesome.
Yep.
Representative LaFleur, thank you so much. I really
thank you. I'm
appreciate
glad
it.
we could do this.
And this is awesome because I think it's a great way to get the message out and inform people what's going on. And speaking of that, please share the video and inform somebody else. My shows can be found on William Wallace for America on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, Twitter, all podcast apps. Please share the interview. Thank you so much.